Okay, a little bit late, but last week's homework. Hopefully you managed to do this and do it all okay. So the first one, 3 to the power of 3 times 3 to the power of 6, you're going to add the powers. So that's going to be 3 to the power of 9. Question B, q to the power of 8 divided by q to the power of 3. You subtract the powers, so that's going to be q to the power of 5. Okay, so 8 to the power of something times by 8 to the power of 10 is 8 to the power of 12. So therefore, what do you add on to 10 to get 12? That's going to be 8 to the power of 2. Next one, t to the power of 5 times t to the power of 4 is t to the power of 9. Next, 15 to the power of 6 to the power of something is 24. Now, when we have brackets, we need to multiply the powers together. So, therefore, this thing here is going to be 15x to the power of 4. Similarly, this one here, 9 to the power of something to the power of 10 is 30. So the powers are going to multiply to get 30. So, therefore, it's going to be 9 to the power of 3 to the power of 10. Now, I've got this number here, and because I'm dividing, I'm going to subtract the powers. So something take away 6 makes 7, so therefore that's going to be 5 to the power of 13. Again here, I'm going to add the powers because it's multiplying. So 6 to the power of 5 times by 6 to the power of 7 makes 6 to the power of 12. And finally, 10 to the power of something divided by 10 to the power of 2, so I'm going to subtract the powers, so therefore it's going to be 10 to the power of 6. Section 2 is always a little bit trickier. We've got to remember what we do is this here gets raised to the power of 3. So that's going to be 3 times 3 times 3. So that's going to be 27. And then we multiply the powers. So that's going to be 27x to the power of 12. Next one. We've got 5a cubed squared. So that's going to be this thing here squared. So that's going to be 25. Then we multiply the powers. So it's going to be a to the power of 6. Now, 2 to the power of 8 is 2 times 2 is 4. Times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 2 is 32, times 2 is 64, times 2 is 128, times 2 is 256. So 2 to the power of 8 is going to be 256, and then you multiply the powers, that's going to be t to the power of 24. Next one is 4 times 4 times 4, so that's going to be 64, and multiplying the powers gets us x to the power of 15. Well done if you've got all of those ones. Next, we've got to write these fractions. So when we have a negative power, that's going to be the same as 1 over 4 to the power of 1. So it's going to be 1 over 4. Next one, 7 to the power of minus 1 is going to be 1 over 7. Next one, 2 to the power of minus 2. That's going to be 1 over 2 to the power of 2. But then we can simplify that because 2 to the power of 2 is 4. So that's going to be 1/4. Next one, 5 to the power of minus 3. That's going to be the same as saying 1 over 5 to the power of 3. And 5 to the power of 3 means 5 times 5 times by 5, which is going to be 125. Next, we had to look at fractional powers. So to the power of a half, the bottom is the root. That means the square root of 64, which is going to equal 8. The bottom here is going to be 2, so that means the square root. So the square root of 144 equals 12. Next, this one means the quarter root of 16, which means something times something times something times something makes 16. So that's going to equal 2. The square root, so something times something makes 1,000,000. That equals 1,000. This one, we've got to do the cube root because we deal with the bottom first of all, which means we're going to do the cube root of 125. Then we're going to square it. So the cube root of 125 is 5. So that's going to be 5 squared, which equals 25. It's starting to get trickier now. So now we deal with the bottom, which is the square root of 9, which is 3. Then we raise that to the power on the top. So that's going to be 3 to the power of 3. So 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. Next, the cube root of 1,000, well, something times something times something is 1,000, so that's going to be 10. So it's going to be 10 to the power of 5. Let's try that again. 10 to the power of 5. And 10 to the power of 5 means 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, which is 1 with 5 zeros. 10 is really useful like that. Oh, let's put the 5th zero on then. Next one is the 5th root of 32, which means something times something. You've got 5 of these blanks. When you multiply them all together, they make 32. So the 5th root of 32 is going to be 2. Then you raise that to the power of 3. So 2 cubed equals 8. Next question. Oh, and that was it. That was all you had to do for your homework. That doesn't sound right. Okay. If that was your whole homework, you're welcome. If I gave you some extra stuff to do, we shall have a look at that next week.